I thought Jalen, as you guys said, played great. And I think he's played well, most of the season also. My biggest thing with Jalen is I think sometimes he holds the ball a little bit too long when there's opportunities in the passing game. But he usually makes positive plays even out of those situations. Yesterday, I thought, for the most part, they did a great job with the plan. A lot of kind of rollout stuff, get the ball out of his hands quickly. Made a couple big throws down the field. Obviously, the huge fourth down, I thought, was kind of a game-changing play to take that shot on 4th and 5 and to hand that to AJ like a handoff. Phenomenal. But, yeah, I just think, as Coach said afterwards, he's a winner. And he finds ways to win. And he finds ways to make plays and positive plays, not negative plays. And so it may not look exactly like me or other people want it to look all the time. And sometimes there's opportunities out there that I think he can make because I know he's talented enough to make them. But when he doesn't see it or he doesn't feel it, he's just going to go make a good play and not put the ball in harm's way. And with this roster, it's a perfect way to play. He doesn't have to carry this team. He doesn't have to be the guy that makes every play because they're good enough around him. And so I love the way that he played. I think in big moments he's played bigger or maybe even better than at other times. And that's exactly what you're looking for from your quarterback, and it's exactly why this team is in the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years.
The game you called yesterday, do you think that was a game that was, if it is even 51-49, was won by their defense or won by their offense?
I think yesterday was a combination. But, I don't have any question that their offense can play and score. Obviously Saquon and their offensive line, you can continue to run the ball the whole game because you can get big plays in the run game as well as the pass game. But I also feel good with the weapons they have on the outside and, Jalen throwing the football. I don't think I want him throwing it 35 to 40 times, but I don't want many quarterbacks doing that. I have full confidence that their offense can score points if they need to. Especially playing within the wheelhouse of the things that Jalen does well.
Let's talk about that. You don't want a quarterback thrown, 35, 40 times. It feels like that's where the NFL had been going for really the better part of a decade. And then this year the Eagles go, you know what, we're going to do the opposite. And it's proved that it works. So let's talk about the style of play this Eagles team does and why it works.
Well, it's something that I kind of look at every year come playoff time. And as much as we want to talk about throwing the football, and as much as the game is catered to throwing the football, the teams that are in the playoffs usually every year, or at least a bulk of the teams, can run the football or are the top running teams in the National Football League. And we forget about that because it's not, always as sexy, because it's not the big plays and throwing the ball all over and those types of things. But I think you also see the nature of the passing game in the NFL where it's so much stuff at the line of scrimmage, which I always have believed is an extension of the run game anyways. But teams that can win up front, teams that can win the line of scrimmage will always have a chance to win in the National Football League. And too many people forget about that, and they think about the shiny weapons on the outside, which are great. But you can win the line of scrimmage, and Philly can win the line of scrimmage as well as anybody in the NFL. You can win the line of scrimmage. You have a chance to win every game, and you have a chance to win championships every year. And that has been the MO for this Philly team over the last few years. And, again, let's look at Detroit. We said it all year about Detroit, too. Why they won 15 games is because they had the best offensive line in football, and they won the line of scrimmage, ran the football, and everything else complemented that. I think that's always been a trait, but sometimes we forget about it because we got such great athletes outside, and it's so much fun to watch, the high-flying, passing games. But when it really comes down to it at critical moments, winning the line of scrimmage is always going to be key. How about we just look at Kansas City last night, too? How about defensively? They won the line of scrimmage on a number of those, quarterback sneak type plays, and winning the line of scrimmage was the difference in that game as well. So that's always going to be a part of football, as much as we forget about it because we love the numbers and we love the touchdowns. You can do that. You got a chance.
Kurt, how much of the game plan from yesterday's game that you observed as you called that game for Westwood One do you think is portable and going to be able to be used against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, the run game is always portable, and the run game will have to be successful in the Super Bowl to be successful. I think the other thing, I love, kind of the movement plays that they did with Jalen, cutting the field in half, and some of those things that can sometimes eliminate, because Spags does a great job of showing you different looks and bringing you different pressures and doing different things like that. So the more that you can kind of, eliminate having to read the whole field and see everything, I think the better it's going to be for Jalen. But the greatest blessing that, the Eagles have is if they can force a team to stack the box and give them one-on-one on the outside, they've got some players that will win in one-on-one battles, starting with AJ. AJ's as good as anybody out there at winning those one-on-one battles and being physical and doing that. And Jalen can, easily make those, because the reads become simpler when it's like, hey, it's AJ one-on-one. Throw it to him. Like, I can throw it, and he can get open, and we can win that way. And so that really, to me, has got to be the formula, is trying to force Kansas City, like everyone else, to stack the box and load the box, because you can still win loading the box because Saquon can make a guy miss, or you can run away from him, and he's got great vision and explosiveness. But more importantly, it simplifies the pass game, and they have the weapons on the outside, in my opinion, and Jalen can throw the ball well enough, in my opinion, that if you're going to get one-on-one on the outside, they can surely win those battles also.
We're speaking with Kurt Warner on the Comcast Business Hotline. Kurt, curious to get your input on this when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. You've played against Vic Fangio before. Obviously, the talent on defense much better this year compared to last year, but going from one of the worst-ranked defenses in the NFL in the 2023 season to the best in 2024, speak on the job that Vic Fangio has been able to do for Philadelphia.
I mean, Vic's done a great job, and like you said, I think it's a combination of scheme and players. Because one thing that Vic does a lot of is he plays kind of a structure, kind of a four-deep defense, which to me is a defense that I think you can attack and have success against. But what they don't do is give up the big play, and then it relies a lot of times on four guys up front to create pressure. And that's what they've got this year. They've got great athletes on the back end, some really good athletic linebackers that can cover up for some of the deficiencies within just scheme of a cover four scheme where you only have three guys underneath. But they've got the guys up front that can rush with just four guys. So you don't have to bring pressure a lot. And you don't have to put guys on islands a lot on the back end, and they don't give up a lot of those big plays. And so you have to be methodical, and you have to play against teams or quarterbacks that can be methodical and be efficient with the football. And if you make mistakes with the football or you have negative plays, that's what they feed off of. And so I love it. It's the idea that, hey, we understand where our strength is, and we're not going to just allow people to get the big plays and make it easy on them. We're going to make it tough. And we believe we've got the athletes, and we believe we got the guys up front to make it tough on guys. And we'll get a negative play, or we'll get a sack, or they'll make a mistake, and that's what we capitalize on. So I think he's done a great job of just setting up a scheme, knowing his players, and playing more of that bend but don't break, don't give up big plays and easy drives, and they make it hard on people, coupled with an offense that can hold the football and drive the football and shorten the game. And I just think it's a great formula with a lot of great talent. But Vic has done a tremendous job of changing that, because they gave up a lot of big plays last year and a lot of one-on-one situations, and he's done a nice job of coming in and changing that up.
How many touchdowns were you awarded from the refs in your Hall of Fame career?
Oh, yeah, I love this one.
Did you know that was a rule? Because I didn't, Kurt.
No, I did not know. I've never heard that one before. And then, just the fact that, and I know, Frankie Louvu was diving over the top, but, I've seen a lot of teams try to do that, saying this is about the only way we can stop the tush push is kind of go up high and try to get to the quarterback. And so even to make that determination, like, okay, you can't jump anymore. Like, you can't do that anymore. And I get it if you think it's dangerous. I mean, I didn't see Frankie, take anybody out.
Well, he's taken quite a few quarterbacks out with cheap shots, so.
Yeah, I mean, but again, when you start to say, okay, you can't leap over the top. So that was all just new to me. Like, say, hey, you can't do that anymore. You can't play the game that anymore. Now, I understand if it's a cheap shot, one thing. But, yeah, then to award anybody a touchdown, I can't say that I've ever heard that one before either. So would have been interesting to see how that played out, who they scored the touchdown for. Like, who gets the touchdown if they award a touchdown. Very interesting situation.
We all learn, Kurt. Doesn't matter what age, we're all learning. Right, listen, exactly. Man, great job yesterday with Iron Eagle on the call. We appreciate you guys having the game here on this station. And, look, we appreciate you calling an Eagles victory en route to a Super Bowl. I know you got a plane to catch, so we're going to forgive him.
We're forgiving him for the 2009 NFC title game?
Today we will.
Just for today, Kurt.
Okay. Have you forgiven me for 2001? That was a long time ago, too.
Yeah, so. 2001 we can forgive you for because we were supposed to lose that one.
Okay. Gotcha.
There you go.
Right. You're the man,
Great
Kurt.
job,
Thanks.
Kurt.
We appreciate it.
Take care. Enjoy.
Thank you so much for checking out our content on the 97.5 The Fanatic YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. And remember, you can always be checking the playlist. There may be something you missed from one of our shows during the day that you want to go back and check out. So every time you like a video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and you'll have that great content coming to you every single day. You're greatly appreciated.